Hi, I'm Mike Field. I own a company called Natural Generation, which installs renewable energy systems. We're here today at my house where I'm going to run through some of the things that I've done, which includes that I've recently installed an SMA solar storage system. One of my main driving forces for installing the solar storage system here is that I'm trying to do as much as possible to reduce my carbon footprint. So energy that's generated in the day when I'm not necessarily here can be stored both to use in the house and also to charge the car. So as much as possible I'm driving around on sunshine. Well, just behind me we can see the PV panels that we've got installed on site here supplying the system. We've got 4 kilowatts of ground mounted panels just behind, and then on the roof of the shed there's a further 3 kilowatts mounted there. The shed is where the inverters for the panels here are housed, along with the battery bank and the flexible storage inverter. These are the PV inverters. We've got 2 solar arrays, one 3 kilowatt and one 4 kilowatt, so a total of 7 kilowatts of PV installed. Then that's wired into the mains, and piggybacking onto the side of that is the off-grid island inverter, which is taking the energy when it's being generated and not used in the house during the day to charge the batteries and then use that later at night. At the moment this is purely grid tied and it's just supporting the inverters in effect, so it's not going to run off grid. If the grid goes down, this will switch off along with the inverters. That's an extra relay box which has just been certified, but I haven't installed that yet. The major components of the off-grid side of the system are the 48 volt battery bank, which is in a sealed cabinet here, which is vented to the outside. Well, the battery bank that I've used is a traditional lead acid system. There's a move now towards AGM batteries, the technology is improving, the price is coming down, and they don't have the same issues with hydrogen gas, and lithium ion, which is much smaller and more compact, and again it doesn't require this safety management. So one of the important things with a lead acid battery is safety, because obviously the battery is full of sulfuric acid, and any splashbacks, you don't want any sulfuric acid on you. So important to protect your eyes, have chemical gloves so you've got the right PPE. The main DC fuse and isolators here, which is very heavy duty to take the high currents that are generated from the DC battery bank. And that's all wired in to the off-grid inverter, which is then connected back to the grid to feed electricity back into the system when the sun goes down to support the system. The control side of it, the SMA Sunny Island is programmed through a remote control, so when you set it up, you're setting all the parameters for the battery bank and controlling the unit through the remote control. And the whole system is managed and run by the Sunny Home Manager, which is connected through the internet back to Sunny Portal, which is where you change parameters and look at your energy usage. So now we've come into the house and I can sit here with a cup of coffee and look at the energy balance and what my usage patterns are. What I'm finding, and the system's only been running for about 7 weeks, is that the difference between a very sunny day and a cloudy day is quite significant. And with having an electric car, I'm trying to minimise importing electricity as much as possible. So I'm trying to charge that during the day and the afternoons when it's sunny. We're 2 weeks into this month and I've been looking at the figures that have been coming from the system over the last fortnight. We've run the house, which is an old farmhouse, which has all the usual items of dishwasher, washing machine. Also, I've driven the electric car for 226 miles and only charged it here. And so far this month, we've generated £25 worth of electricity from the PV panels. I've only had to buy in £3.30 worth of electricity from the grid, and the battery system has made up the difference, which is another £14 worth of electricity. One of the most interesting things I've found is the behavioural change that it's made me take on. That even being involved in the industry and having PV, I've become much more aware of my energy use, especially with the electric car, and so I'm just really careful now when I charge the car and thinking, right, I'm driving around, but then I'm using this energy which maybe later on would keep the lights on in the house or run the dishwasher. The Home Manager part of the system is looking at managing the battery bank and also looking at weather forecasts for the next 2 days. So it manages the charging and discharging of the battery, looking at what sunshine is forecast, and will advise you on when it's best to use that energy. The storage system is very much at the top end of the market, and the system that I've installed would probably cost anywhere up from £10,000. So as far as payback goes at the moment, that's probably fairly long. However, the price of the systems are coming down all the time, and there are cheaper options available.